Hey y'all, welcome to the Skintrovert. I'm your host, Sam Bazile. And here at the Skintrovert, we're going to talk about a lot of things. Specifically, we're going to talk about skin health. We're going to talk about skin histology. We're going to talk about all fun things in aesthetics. And I'm going to throw in a little tea here and there. The Skintrovert came from a place of lack, right? This industry is growing very rapidly, very fast. And in my opinion, I don't think our education is matching with that growth. So I wanted to bring a space where we could all learn and grow together. And that's what the Skintrovert will be. Now, I have a pretty unique perspective here. I've played many different roles in this aesthetic space. Specifically, I've been a patient, I have been a provider, I've been a sales rep, and I've been a consultant. And in every single role that I have played, education not being at the forefront has been an issue in every single role. So let me start back as a patient. I'll take you back to when I was younger and I suffered with horrific cystic acne. It controlled my life. And anyone who suffers with cystic acne knows exactly what I'm talking about. So cystic acne, not only does it destroy your skin health, but it also destroys your mental health. You know, when I was younger, I kind of put this thought into my head that if people saw me with all of this horrible acne, they would think, ew, she doesn't bathe, or she's got poor hygiene, or she doesn't know how to take care of herself. Well, no one ever told me that, but that's where your mind goes, with all of this stuff. So it messes with your mental health. It messes with your skin health because then you start having all of this acne and this scarring, and it's bad. So as a patient, I saw both dermatologists and I saw estheticians. And this is how I was treated. Oh, you have acne? Here's some acne medications. Good luck. We can follow up if it doesn't work. That's it. No one really took the time to educate me. No one took the time to say, Sam, this is what's going on with your skin and why. This is where it's rooted from. This is what we need to do to fix it. Yes, you're going to be on these medications, but they might not be successful long term. There was no education. And because of that, I was left feeling extremely frustrated and I just gave up. I just gave up. So that's what led me into the next phase of my life. Because you know what? If I'm not going to get the help I need, then damn it, I'm going to do it myself. And that's exactly what I did. I became an esthetician so I could help myself and help others that were going through the same thing that I was, that just was not getting any help. So I became an esthetician. And no surprise, Sam goes to aesthetic school, and guess what? Lack of education. At a school. Imagine that. So I pay all this money to become an esthetician. And while there, I learned how to do a facial. I learned how to mix up some masks. I learned how to have fluid hand movements. I learned how to not have a creepy touch. I learned how to balance a chakra. All impressive things, right? But nothing that was really helpful for me to be in this medical space. I wanted to work alongside dermatologists. I wanted to work alongside plastic surgeons. I wanted to be in a medical spa, somewhere that I could do more than just a fluffy facial. I wanted to actually make change in the health of skin. So I get out in the field, and thankfully, I had a nurse practitioner that didn't care that I knew nothing, didn't care that all I knew how to do was balance a chakra. She was like, you're going to learn with me. You're going to grow with me. Thankfully, she gave me a chance. And so working alongside her, I was able to kind of soak up the knowledge that she had, thus far in her career. But I was also educated through the skincare brands that I chose to carry. I was also educated through the devices that I chose to use to help my patients. So while that was very helpful and way more education than I had had at that point. So again, very grateful for that. But it was brand focused education. So what do I mean by that? Well, while these brands are giving you education and product knowledge about their product, which is helpful if you want to be successful selling their stuff, it's very one way. It's kind of like tunnel vision, right? It doesn't really help you grow as an aesthetics provider. All it really does is give you the knowledge that you need to sell the product. So I found myself going out into the world trying to find more education that was lacking for me. And what I found was it's just not there. It's not easily accessible. And what was there was courses that were thousands and thousands of dollars that were going to cost me an arm and a leg. I would have to leave my family in clinic for a week. And a lot of times, guys, it was people that were not even in the industry that were teaching. It just wasn't what I was looking for. Okay. So what I did, I went out and I educated myself. I spent time with specific dermatologists that I admired, that I looked up to, that other mentors, other estheticians that I knew had gone through other types of training. So I really had to rely on myself to get out there and educate. And why I did that, I wanted to be a different provider. I wanted to be what I didn't have. I wanted to be able to educate my patients because I wanted them to be successful and I wanted them to feel good. I say this all the time, but I truly mean this to my core. An educated patient is a compliant patient. If a provider can take just a few extra minutes to educate the patient on what's happening in the skin, why it's happening, and these are the things we're going to do to fix it, you will have a compliant patient. They will stay on board and have successful results. So that's what it was. I just wanted to be what I felt I wanted when I was a patient. And thankfully, I did that because it made me really successful in my role as an esthetician. So successful that I was noticed by a popular skincare brand. They asked me to come on board for the education and the sales portion, and that's where I reside today. I'm a sales rep. I work with a very popular skincare brand that I absolutely adore and love. And I'm able to now educate providers on how to treat and take care of their patients. Like, what a full circle experience. But again, even in this sales role experience, it's a lack of education. You have sales persons that come in, they are indoctrinated, they are educated on brand education. And some reps are just like, hey, cool, I'm taking that information and I'm going to go spew it out to the masses. They're not going above and beyond to grow themselves as sales aesthetics reps. We have to learn more. We have to grow in our roles, and not many are doing that. But I did because I wanted to be what I didn't have as a provider. I wanted to have someone that you could rely on, right? Imagine me as an esthetician, if I would have had that, if I would have had a sales rep that I trusted was knowledgeable and knew these things, that would have been such an impactful position for me. So I wanted to be that. When I became this sales rep, I wanted to be what I didn't have, and that's what I did. So yes, I'm able to give all of my partners all of the product knowledge that they need to be successful to sell and work with the brand. But I also wanted to give them more. So that's what I did. I now train providers. I give them a little bit more on disease of the skin histology, how to recognize certain conditions, how to take methods to treat, and also how to educate their patients. And those of you that have worked with me, I would hope that you agree that I was able to do that for you and be that for you. But, I work within my bubble. That's it. And I wanted to go outside of my bubble. And I knew that that was needed because I would do these Zooms here and there with other aesthetics providers and teach them these things, teach them about acne and rosacea and common skincare ingredients like retinoids. And they just loved it. And afterwards, they would reach out and beg me for more. Sam, when are you going to do another one? And I just realized that I'm not the only aesthetics provider that is craving more, that needs more. So that's the Skintrovert. That's what I want to bring to you. So I hope you guys are excited to join me on this journey. Yes, we are going to dive into the skin science. We are going to dive into product ingredients. We're going to dive into all of the fun stuff that maybe you as an aesthetics provider have not been able to access. But there's also some weird gray areas in aesthetics that no one's talking about. We need to be the change. We need to come together as a united front, and we need to rip off that Band-Aid, expose the gray areas, and start learning and growing. Again, this industry is booming. It is growing, but our knowledge hasn't. So we have to grow with this industry. And that's what I want to be for you. But I promise you this. Our time here together at the Skintrovert, I promise you I'm not here to sell you anything. That will not take place here at the Skintrovert. We are just here to learn and grow together. And then I hope there's something you can promise me. I hope that when you tune into the Skintrovert, if there's ever anything that I say that maybe you don't agree with, maybe you think we could grow and expand on, maybe it's another side or another opinion that I haven't thought about, I want to know about it because I know that I don't have all the right answers. I know that I'm not always right. I am the most teachable person you will ever meet because I crave it. This is the industry that I am so passionate about, and I want to know it all. I want to learn it all. I may not ever get there, but I still want to soak it in as much as I can. And I want to surround myself with peers that feel the same way. So share with me anytime you want to build on my topics, or if there's something you just want to hear about. If there's a specific topic that you feel we need to dive in together, I want to know about it. There's several ways you can get in touch with me. One is email. Feel free to email me at skintrovertsam@gmail.com. You can also catch me on Instagram on Tell Me More Sam or _Skintrovert. And I'm also on TikTok as the Skintrovert. So I would love to hear from you and connect with you all. But until next time, take care. Bye, guys. Think of the Skintrovert as your aesthetics roundtable, not a training manual. This podcast is for professional education and discussion. It's not medical advice. Your scope of practice matters, regulations vary, and your license always leads. To continue the conversation, follow the Skintrovert on Apple, Spotify, or any platform that you listen to your podcast.